Hey guys, it's me, herein, professional real estate investor, and today we're going to answer the question, what's the difference between the interest rate and the yield? When I first started investing in real estate back in the day, I learned about interest rates because I had to borrow money from banks in order to buy the real estate that I would buy. And so I'd go out and I'd get a mortgage and the lender would tell me, this is your interest rate. Well, that's all that I knew until I really started investing as a note investor decades later. And then I learned something called yield. And so today I want to just explain what the difference is between the interest rate and the yield. And just to give you the basic definition of it is this. The interest rate is the rate that the borrower pays. The yield is the rate that the lender receives. And I know that may sound contradictory, but they're not always the same. You could be paying, for example, 6% interest on your mortgage, but your lender could be receiving 7 or 8% yield on the money that you owe them. And that's done through a process called discounting. So let me give you an example of how that might actually look. Suppose you borrowed $100,000 to buy a property, and the lender is charging you an interest rate of 10%. So that's your interest rate, it's 10%, and your monthly payments are $830 a month, let's just say, okay? At that point, you are paying 10%, and your lender is receiving his yield of 10%. However, if I come along as a note investor, and I go to your lender, and I buy your mortgage note from your lender at a discount, my yield will be higher. So here's how that might look. Suppose I offer your lender $90,000 in order to buy their position in your mortgage. At that point, I'm collecting 10% interest on $100,000 because that's what you owe. But I've only got $90,000 invested. So if I'm earning 10% on $100,000, but I've only got $90,000 invested, then my $90,000 is actually earning a higher yield than 10%. It may be 11, I haven't done the math, but it's definitely higher. And I've had people ask me, well, how do you calculate yield? Well, that's a whole nother story, right? You need to have the right calculator, and you need to understand how money works in order to calculate yield. And we teach that in a different video. So you might want to go to our website or our YouTube channel or our Vimeo channel to learn how to calculate yield. But that's how it works, guys. If this is still a little confusing, feel free to call me and we can talk about it, and I can help you understand it by showing you some actual examples of how to calculate yields versus rates of interest, okay? Again, I'm herein, professional real estate investor. Thank you so much for watching. Check out our YouTube channels. Visit our website at investbrilliantly.com. And remember, the money is in the money business. That's why the banks are there. And also, always remember to invest brilliantly.